Hello and welcome to Conversations in the Cloud, the show where we talk to people about what London, the greatest city in the world, means to them. My name's Shivani Dave, my pronouns are they, them. You can call me Shiv, and this episode we will be taking you from Greenwich Peninsula all the way to Royal Docks and give you a phenomenal view of London 90 metres above the River Thames. You might have seen rainbows popping up all around Transport for London's network, and that's because June is Pride Month. Here at the Transport for London network, Pride is super important to everybody involved, not just for the LGBTQ plus people in their staff, but also for every single journey that takes place on their services. And today we are going to be joined by some of the incredible people in London's LGBTQ plus community, talking about Pride, what it means to them, all from the absolute joy, comfort and stunning surrounding beauty of the IFS cable car. And I have got to tell you about these absolutely gorgeous pictures that you will see all around Transport for London's network. They are people who are members of staff at Transport for London, but also celebrities who are Londoners and support TfL. They are people who just want to be part of TfL's Pride celebrations. You'll see that they are enjoying themselves, and you should get on TfL services to enjoy yourself there as well. So it's an amazing opportunity for photo op, for stunning views, and let's go check out some of those views with my first guest. I feel like saying welcome to you, but actually you're welcoming me into the cable car.
Come on in.
Thank you very much. This is Rhys's Pieces from the absolutely talented Cocoa Butter Club. The Cocoa Butter Club, I'm sure we're going to hear so much more about. You can see some of their performers over at Green Park, but this in the IFS cable car with me now is Rhys.
Hi.
Tell me a bit more about Cocoa Butter.
Oh my god, the Cocoa Butter Club is an amazing space. It is a space for celebrating cutie pop for black performers in the cabaret scene. It's wonderful. It was started in 2016 by Sadie Sinner, produced with Cassie, Leon, and it's a gorgeous place.
And Sadie is one of those people in that photo that you can go check out at Green Park. But famously, the Cocoa Butter Club is award winning.
Yes, of course.
What kind of awards have you won?
Oh, QX Magazine's Best Cabaret.
Ooh.
I picked it up actually. That was in 2019. Yeah, it was absolutely wonderful. But it's travelled the world. They've actually got Cocoa Butter Clubs, one in Australia, in Berlin.
Wow, a global enterprise. We love to see it. So, when did you start performing with the group?
I was there from the very beginning. So Sadie picked me up. Yeah. Old school, one of the originals. That's why I'm allowed to be here talking about it.
I love that.
Yeah, Sadie don't trust just anybody with her baby. I was lucky enough to be picked up by the Cocoa Butter Club and work with them from the beginning back in 2016 when I was starting out. It's been incredible.
What's it been like performing all around London?
All around London, all around Europe as well. It's been good. I mean, it's been hectic, but they've given me opportunities to perform in amazing places and to make amazing work. It's chaotic, but it's such a privilege to really bring underrepresented black and cutie pop voices to stages, to really pioneer and do some amazing stuff over the last nearly 10 years?
10 years nearly. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's.
Don't cut that bit out.
No, don't cut it out. My back, you can hear it.
So when you go to shows and when you're travelling home, I imagine you've got lots of stuff with you. You might be in some of your performance outfits. What's that like? Do you take TfL services for that?
I do, for my sins. Well, I did. I used to do it more before, she got the money for Ubers. But we don't talk about that. We don't talk about Uber. No Uber. Shush.
Who's that? I don't know that.
Uber? Don't know her. No, definitely. I'm a bit of a TfL nerd, actually, to be honest with you.
Tell me more.
I just like it. I'm a London boy, so I was born in Homerton. I was born in Homerton, live in Hackney, so I've used TfL my whole life. And I remember when the overground got installed, all that shiz. Not swearing now, be careful. But the Vicky line, that's my baby. That gets me up and down to Brixton, to be naughty in Vauxhall. We won't say any more about that. And for my sins, I do drag my drag my suitcases up and down those stairs, and that's why I've got a bad back. So I'll be invoicing.
Who, invoicing TFL?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Very much that. Yeah. It's alright, I already made my money back when I was young.
So long as you're not invoicing me, that's all I care about. So what were those experiences like? You know, seeing the Overground open, you know, travelling all over London. Are you a stan?
Do you know what? Yeah, I hope no one like. Do you know what? Actually, I don't care. I am a TFL nerd. I like watch the YouTube videos about like the history and the infrastructure. When the Elizabeth line opened, I was gagged. I was so excited. I noticed that there was a new opening to Bank the other day. Bank, I mean, that's a mess. Sort that out. Sorry about it. Love you, but still. But yeah, I know a little facts. Like the oldest line is the Metropolitan line. The newest line is
Right, that's where I grew up.
There we go.
Yeah, you're rocking the Metropolitan line colours as well.
It's my favourite. It made my journey from my osteopath for that bad back that you gave me. It cut it down from 40 minutes to 6 minutes, baby.
Love to see it. And it's also kind of the colour of the inside of the cable car. Is this your first time on the IFS Cloud cable car?
Yeah, it actually is, and I'm actually really happy to be here. And one good thing about drag and being queer, sort it out. One thing about is it gets you to do things like this. On Monday, I did a skydive to raise money for hospice. Yeah, but that wasn't TFL, so we don't talk about that. And now I'm in a cable car, so it's not quite 10,000 feet, but it will do.
It's 90 metres. That's pretty good.
It's
pretty high.
But my ex lived in Greenwich, which.
The less said about that, the better.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I wouldn't go on a
got
date
views.
on it, so.
We can see over where Queen Elizabeth Park is. That's where UK Black Pride is going to be held on the 20th of August.
Yes.
Looking forward to that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's amazing. It turns 18 this year, so it's
incredible.
allowed to drink. And yeah, I think last year we had 25,000 people turn up. That was started by a lady Phil, who is an amazing.
She's a powerhouse.
She is. And
if you don't know Lady Phil, Google that. Google who she is right now. She's get to know.
Get to know. Yeah, but it's going to be great. I mean, it's Europe's biggest celebration of black and cutie pop kind of culture, queer culture, and yeah, to see it grow from, I think it was over in Vauxhall Gardens, it's been all about, and it is really a special day.
Yeah. One thing that I like about it is that it's always been in London, so I can get TFL there. See that plug?
Exactly.
How important are queer spaces to you in London?
I mean,
that's where you make the coin. That's where you make the coin.
It's where I make my coin, but it's literally my life. Like I found cabaret and performing in my mid-20s. I drifted before that in my early 20s, and now it's my life. Sometimes, I sit on the bus and it's this Corny, but this is my press sentence. Sometimes I sit on the bus on my way to a gig.
TFL bus.
TFL, well, yes. Not another bus. And I just smile because I'm so happy to be doing what I do, and I found my calling, and it's all that I'm good at. But also it's the community, and these are the hubs of places where queer people come and find lovers. With my grinder popping off, find lovers and
that's
friends.
Oh, that's a grinder. Okay.
And communities. I mean, that intersects with TFL as well. You got to get there somehow.
Yeah, you got to get there somehow. So, what can we expect to see from you coming forward?
Oh, what's going on with me? So obviously more stuff with the Cocoa Butter Club, of course.
Will you be at Pride this year?
Yeah, I'm at Pride for my sins. I'm actually running around. I'm at King's Cross. Is that part? Yeah, that is. I won't say who at King's Cross. Let's say TFL. Wink. You can't see I've got these big glasses on. And I'll be throwing glitter on people's faces in the morning. Then I'm running off and doing 2 gigs at once. Because that's drag. In Soho, I'm all about. And the Cocoa Butter Club. I think they've got a stage in Soho as well. Sadie will be hosting that. And then my own thing that I run, which is Queerdos, which used to be called Queefy.
Ooh, I love
it. More than just a load of hot air. Woo! That's Queerdos, and that does stuff. And I work with a lot of the performers from the Cocoa Butter Club there too.
Awesome. What kind of things can we expect if we come to a Queerdos show?
Oh, me desperately trying to remember people's names and my own.
Okay, nice. Okay, hot mess.
Hot mess. Yes, balancing the line between madness and goodness.
So running around between all those different places at Pride, I imagine you'll be taking some TFL services.
Yes, I will, absolutely. I'll be getting the Victoria line, my baby, which is the fastest line on the TFL, just so you know.
Got all the facts.
I've got all the facts, baby. What's funny though is I was like, let me just check. I looked them up on the way here, half of them were wrong. So it's a good thing me that I didn't say many. But yeah, I'll be getting the TFL down to King's. I'll be getting the Victoria line down to King's Cross, and then yeah, I'll be running across. And maybe are those Boris bikes? Are they? No.
The Santander bicycles.
Sorry, not he who must not be named. But those bikes, they're TFL now as well. Yeah. I'll be getting those. They're
I
good
think
fun.
TFL encourages all sorts of active travel.
Baby, when you see a drag performer, you know, in full geesh with their huge bags with one of those things, like, Sharon LeGrand, move out the way, move out the way. Oh, that's a performance in and of itself.
I hope you're wearing a helmet though.
Yeah.
Or is the wig?
Yeah.
There's enough hairspray in there to
Do you know
keep
what I
you
mean?
safe. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could ram into this and smash this window with this.
And I'm going to be asking everybody on this show, what is the queerest mode of transport in London and why?
Well, yeah, for me, I think it would be one of them bikes, because I'm on the bike and I'm lip syncing and voguing as I go. So it's gonna be.
How are we doing that? Stay seated.
Yeah, handless like this. And the thing is, I'm not very good at voguing, but you're moving fast enough that nobody can see. So I'm in my own little world, listening to Nicki Minaj, just going for it, practicing, rehearsing for the gig.
Creating your own little.
That's exactly.
It's a show. It's a show all in itself.
In lockdown, I did a whole thing when I rode around London, videoing people from their windows with consent. I checked with them first, doing performances to keep it all going. It was very good. It was called Rhys's Pieces Deliver Who.
Oh, that's good. That is good.
It was good.
You are the person to get on board for the branding.
Now.
I've just seen someone doing some fell in the river. Okay, I hope they're safe. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the ride.
Thanks for having me. Love the ride. Always do.
If you are able to step this way,
yes,
you got to squeeze past me.
Yeah, that's
for your
all right.
way out.
Bye, babies.
Woo!
See you later. Happy Pride. Trans lives matter. Trans rights, baby. Let's go.
Oh, it's very slow.
The door's slow, but it's fine because I can do this. Pose on the way out.
That's it. Work. If you're thinking of visiting the IFS Cloud cable car, you can also enjoy an experience at the IFS Cloud cable car gift shop and cafe. There's a pop-up shop and a selfie factory, which is pretty stunning. Photo opportunities, of course, on the IFS Cloud cable car, and there's a VR experience if you head into the shop with so much more there. I had a flat white from there this morning. It was absolutely delicious. So there's so much to experience. Just a reminder, this is the IFS Cloud cable car. This is Conversations in the Cloud. I'm Shivani Darving. My pronouns are they, them, and we are having conversations with people 90 metres above the River Thames, all about London and why they love this city so much. Let's get our next guest in. It is the undoubtedly hilarious Dee Allum.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, Dee.
Thank
How
you for
are you
having
doing?
me. I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you? You alright?
I'm good. Am I allowed to put my arm here? Is that okay? We're making some contact. I'm liking that. Happy Pride. How are you feeling?
Thank you, I'm feeling good.
Good.
Feeling excited.
We worked out that we actually grew up very near each other.
We did.
We went to sort of schools in a similar area. Did you get TFL to school?
I did get TFL to school
Met
every day.
line.
Shorewood to Moore Park.
Yeah, that's
Classic.
Metropolitan Line representation. We love to see it. Is this your first time in the IFS Cloud cable car?
It is indeed my first time in the IFS Cloud cable car.
Oh.
It's very swish. It's very good.
You're going to get to enjoy the most stunning views of London, and then you can
I'm
look
very
out the
excited.
windows and see other things as well. I'm the stunning views.
I love that.
Yeah,
That was real nice.
Okay, I'm glad that was smooth, right? That was smooth. What's your first impression of it?
Well, it's very sort of like slick and also very high. It's very high up.
A smooth operation. You're not scared of heights, are you?
No, well, we'll find out.
Okay,
but I
okay.
think I'm fine. It should be okay.
We're in it together. So you are a hilarious comedian. I've seen you on the television,
Yes.
the BBC New Comedy Awards, which you won.
I was in the final. I won my.
You won my heart.
Thank you. That's all that really matters.
You won my heart.
So thank you for describing me explicitly as a hilarious comedian,
Yes.
rather than just comedian.
No.
Just in case anyone was in any doubt.
You know what? Anyone can put
Hilarious
anything
comedian.
they want in their social media bios, but I could put comedian. In fact,
Yeah.
I have in the past and accidentally got a gig.
Oh really?
So yeah, then I had to do the gig. It was less said about that, the better. I want to hear more about you and your comedy journey. Did you start that when you were at university?
I did. Yes, I did like little bits and pieces at school, but never anything, good. And then I went to Cambridge and I did like Cambridge Footlight stuff, so like sketch comedy. And then I did like my first like stand-up set in maybe 2018. and it was terrifying and awful, and I hated it.
Have you got any of those old stand-up jokes still in your back pocket?
No, I
Okay.
think every single thing I said in that first gig was just so bad. So it's all gone.
Blacked
But I
out
really
in
enjoyed
your
it
memory.
in a
Blacked out.
in quite a stressful way.
Yeah.
So here I am.
And do you gig around London?
I do indeed. I gig all over London, in Greenwich, where I live, in Up the Creek, which is a great comedy venue. Comedy Store, Leicester Square. What else? We've got Vauxhall Comedy Club.
Love it, love it.
All over the place.
Quite committed to South London, though, it sounds like.
Oh, South London, the best London.
Well, we're heading back down that
We
way.
are indeed.
So I
Can't wait
can't
to
say
get
too
back.
much about South London right now. How important is it for you for these venues to be inclusive of LGBTQIA plus people?
Oh, it's really important. I think in terms of like the audience and the comedians, like having that space to be creative and to be kind of to know that not necessarily just like a safe space, but like to know that the people that you're talking to are going to be kind of in some way on your level, and you don't have to like explain yourself, explain your existence. You can just like be funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really really important.
And you are very funny.
Hilarious.
Can I do the joke that I really like of yours? That no one will understand because I won't do
listen, you can try.
I won't do. I did this joke to my girlfriend and she
Yeah.
was like, "It's just not funny when you do it." As in when I do it. But I showed her the clip and she was like, "Oh, it's funny when Dee does
Well,
it."
let me see you do it and see
Yes.
how it goes.
That's it. That's the joke.
That is the entire joke. That is all the context that you need. And if you didn't like it, then I guess I'm not a hilarious comedian.
Well, there is that. There is that. So Dee, formerly hilarious comedian. Do you think it's important for companies like TfL to support Pride?
Oh, for sure. I think there is kind of a preconception about companies doing Pride that it's like just sticking on like a rainbow logo on their like Twitter for a month or whatever and not really doing anything else about it. And I think that is sometimes true. I think some companies do just do like the bare minimum. But some companies like TfL are doing really cool stuff where queer people get to talk to each other about being queer and what it's like to live in London and use the TfL network while being queer in order to help us be more queer. It's cool.
Yeah.
And
I was just getting distracted that it's quite windy out there.
yeah, it's stressfully
It's
windy.
rocking.
It's fine.
I'm into it.
I'm still loving it on the IFS Cloud cable car.
Oh, the branding, the plug, it's all here. I'm so glad that producer Josh's face has gone back to normal after I made that joke and I stole your joke and then he was shocked.
It's all good.
Yeah, so are you going to be attending Transpride this year?
I am.
That's
July 8th, I believe.
Next weekend, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. It'll be my first Transpride in London, actually.
Amazing.
So yeah, I'm really excited. It should be really good.
You're going to get TfL services to get there?
Absolutely,
Love
of course.
it, love it. I think you were part of the Every Story Matters campaign with TfL. Where can we see your face?
You can see my face in Victoria, in Green Park,
Ooh.
and in Limehouse.
She gets around.
Oh, doesn't she just? Yeah, no, it's very exciting. I've got my face on posters, on platforms
That's
and stuff.
awesome. Are you tempted to steal one just so you can frame it in your room afterwards?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
No one else is going to have that same kind of emotional attachment to it.
Yeah,
I feel like I deserve it.
Maybe before theft, you could just email somebody and ask.
I
if
think
you have a
I'll
copy.
steal first. After
Okay, yeah, fair enough. That's the way.
Yeah.
Be trans, do crime.
That is. If there's anything anyone takes away from this, it is be trans, do crime.
And the fact that Transport for London really endorses that message.
Yeah.
Transport for London.
Yeah.
Woo!
Good.
I had rehearsed that before this, so
Yeah.
I'm glad it got the giggles, the pity laugh. So, your favourite routes that you take, I feel like they're going to be South London based. I'm
They
never
are
going to
South
have
London
heard
based.
of them. Is it like, give me a route?
It's DLR. It's always the DLR. It's like.
Where's your favourite place to sit on the DLR?
Is that even a question? The front of the train, and pretend like you're driving it. There is no other mode of transport in London that comes close to that experience.
I like
It's the best.
top deck of the bus
It's
at the
not
front.
the same because no one drives a bus sitting that high.
But imagine if they did.
Well, that would be great, but they don't. So yeah, there's a DLR,
DLR.
hands down.
Okay, I've been on the DLR a couple of times. Give me
Yeah.
a pitch for why I should take the DLR more.
Because it is sort of like it's elevated in various places, like going between like skyscrapers and stuff is very cool. It's almost all overground, so you've got signal all the time.
Okay.
And
Scroll through Instagram.
You've got Cutty Sark for Maritime Greenwich, which is the best name of any station ever. It's got like 1,000 letters in it. What more could you want from your transport?
What do people call that for short? Because surely people aren't going around saying meet you at Cutty Sark for Granatime Merich Station.
That was close.
I didn't even get it right.
I think that's proof of why you can't.
Yeah. So what do people call that station?
Just Cutty Sark.
Oh, okay, fine.
After the boat.
Yeah, we're so lazy in North London. We just call King's Cross KX, and that's.
Oh, come on. That's why North London is not as good.
Is that why we're falling down?
It's dying. Yeah, down the pecking order.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. I'm very loyal to North London, I just have to say. When I go home later, don't want nobody in North London coming for me. The slander's gonna
we both
ruin
grew
my
up in
reputation.
North London.
We did,
And
yes.
now I live in South London. And
I live in
it's
East.
superior. Oh, there you go.
we both left North West.
We can all agree West London is
Yeah,
is not
well,
West.
I don't know if we're allowed to say that. TfL services all parts of London, and all parts of London are valid.
Equally valid.
But there are some that are better than others. There are some that are better than others. So, have you seen the comedy scene change as you've been gigging around?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's definitely, it feels like a kind of push for diversity on lineups. So like having more women, having more people of colour, having more LGBT representation, I think is really great. And also like having more spaces for like queer specific gigs. So like the Queer Comedy Club opened in London
Whereabouts is that?
last month. That is in Archway, North London. Some things in North London are worth visiting.
It's worth the trip.
And that's the first.
That's the Northern Line as well.
It's the Northern Line. You gotta love the Northern Line. But that's the UK's first like LGBT specific comedy club, like venue, like permanent venue. And it only opened last month, which is very late. But I feel like for that to happen, but it does now exist, and I think it's a sign that the comedy scene is changing for the better.
Yeah, and what's it like for you when you're coming up against audiences that might not necessarily know you're trans, and then your material is very, hey, I'm trans.
Yeah,
What's that like?
it's tough sometimes. I mean, like, you know, like queer audiences, they kind of get it. Like I was saying, like you don't need to explain stuff to them, and some other audiences are just starting from a different place. So yeah, I have some material that I do for queer audiences where people will understand more of the kind of references and stuff, and some material that is just kind of explaining what it's like to be trans. So yeah, you just got to pitch it for different people.
Fair enough. I mean, that's why you're a much more talented comedian than I was for that one gig I accidentally got.
Yeah, hilarious indeed.
Yes. So I'm asking everybody, what is the queerest mode of transport in London and why?
I mean, there's a shout for the DLR because it's just sort of a bit quirky and different.
Yes.
But I think the Croydon trams.
Ooh.
I think the Croydon trams are the queerest because it's very San Francisco vibes.
Yes, San
And I feel
Francisco.
like if anything is going to be queer, it's San Francisco. So I would have to say Croydon trams.
Okay, interesting. Not Soho.
No, well, there's nothing specific to Soho.
Because it's North London. Get out of here.
Yeah.
You've just got all that North London hate. Well, thank you so much, Dee.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me on the IFS Cloud Cable Car.
It's
I
been
hope it was a nice first ride.
It's been great. Thank
If
you so much.
Go that way.
Bye.
See you. If you've just joined our live stream, this is Conversations in the Cloud. Today we're talking about pride and why diversity is important to TfL. So to talk to somebody who works with TfL and is very vocal about all staff and customers feeling well supported on the services across the TfL network is Joe Brown, who is one of the members of staff here at TfL. And we're going to hear more from Joe about Outbound, but also this way, please. Come sit close. I want to corner you in, Joe.
Sorry.
I want to corner you in.
Why?
Let's talk about TfL. I mean, we're on a TfL service.
We are.
We've both got the little
We
the
have got little badges.
sort of remixed for Pride.
Pride my kids, yes.
Yeah, love it. So TfL is an official Pride partner of
Yeah.
London Pride. Why is it so important for you that that's the case?
Well, I mean, it kind of goes without saying, what we do is we move people, and Pride is the biggest one-day event in London. 1.5 million people come in, so without TfL, no Pride, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure.
And I just think it's such an important message to send out to customers, colleagues, that, you know, TfL are there, we're part of Pride. You know, it just really is so key.
And you're the head of Outbound. What does that mean? What do you do within that position?
So Outbound, we're the LGBTQ colleague network group for Transport for London. We've got about 700 members. We meet in person, so we do like fun events. We do lots of online meetings. We get guest speakers in. So it really is just about getting to know each other and just learning from each other, because LGBTQ is just so diverse. There's so much opportunity to learn. So that's kind of what we do basically.
And the TFL, for me as a queer person who uses the network daily, it doesn't feel like the work of supporting LGBTQ plus people within TFL is only about the staff. It feels like they want every single person who uses their services to feel welcome and included.
Yeah.
And I've seen that from the sort of rainbow flags that get put up around all the different stations for Pride Month, and some of them have really nice moving quotes that make me a little bit emotional if you hit me in the right moment. But TFL is this kind of iconic, I don't know what's happened to my iPad there. TFL is this kind of like iconic part of London. When did you first join the organisation?
So I was actually, believe it or not, 26 years ago. Oh no, I don't look at
You don't look it, you look about 26. What, you joined when you were born?
Well, I spent too much time in the dark underground driving trains, you see, so
Okay.
that's probably why, good skin and all of that. But yeah, no, I joined 26 years ago. As a guard, which we don't have anymore, but we used to have guards on the back of Northern Line trains, opening and closing the doors. So that's what I started off doing, and it was a very different world then. So as an LGBTQ plus person, certainly there was a lot more homophobia then, misogyny, and a lot of places were not like safe for us. So I used to like sit in the mess room, and there'd be this homophobic banter going on around me, and of course no one knew that I was. But then when it did eventually get out, someone put a note up on the wall saying, oh, the next 10 people to come out are going to be ... and I was number 1 on the list, and it was just not a nice place to work. But
That sounds really horrible. Has that changed much over time?
Massively. So, and I think it's just key to the work that we're doing, just to keep on pushing. So I heard about this depot where, there were like loads of gay people, Parsons Green, it was called the Pink Depot. So I put my name down for it when I became a driver, and it was like day and night. It was just all of a sudden, it was just amazing. You could just be authentic, you could be yourself. I made loads of really close friends that are still really close now, and it just shows the power of being in an environment where you feel welcome, where you can just be you, where you don't have to have secrets, you don't keep on getting ribbed or getting asked, they see a wedding ring, they're like, oh, what does your wife do?
Yeah.
It's just all of these assumptions that it just makes the day-to-day life a bit of a grind. So moving to somewhere where I was welcome, I could just be me, I haven't looked back since. And it's just really inspired me with the Outbound role to try and make as much of Transport for London like that as possible. I don't want any dark corners where people just can't be them.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just so amazed by some of these views up here. I want to take a moment to appreciate it with you, because I'm sure you, working at TFL, have the opportunity to come on the IFS Cloud cable car all the time.
Yeah.
Does it ever get boring?
No, never, because I think like the weather changes, so it's always a different view, right? And so it kind of joins City Hall, which side to be on, down there with like the O2.
Go and say hi to Sadiq Khan.
Yeah, pop
Mayor
in.
of London.
My mate, yeah. So yeah, and also we've got some offices down there at Pier Walk, just by the O2. So yeah, I mean, do get to use it a fair bit.
Lovely. Do you get any early access to gigs that happen?
No.
Damn it!
So-
I thought you were the person to be friends with for that sort of thing. So, when did you first go to Pride, and does it have a particular personal connection for you?
Yeah, my first one, I was 17, so I came out when I was 16, not like fully out, but I'd started kind of going out on the scene when I was 16, so my first one was in 1994, and one of my friends was DJing on the Heaven float, so I got pulled up, and like I was boogieing around on the float, and it was just such an amazing experience to just suddenly, and it was so much more powerful then. You have to bear in mind, back in 1994, we had, the age of consent was still 21, so I was like, even then, underage by like 4 years. We still had section 28, so if I was getting bullied at school, I couldn't go to my teacher and say, I'm being called this, that, you just couldn't get help.
That was the Local Government Act, right? Put in by Margaret Thatcher, that basically meant that schools and libraries couldn't teach about LGBTQ plus identities as what they called a pretend family situation essentially, which meant that lots of young people didn't get support that they needed when they were at school, and they couldn't see any sort of LGBTQ plus representation. And I guess LGBTQIA plus representation is so visible, particularly in June around TFL. Is that something that you directly had involvement with, working with TFL with Outbound and making sure that's happening?
100%. So you can't move for it, and I'm so proud of what we managed to do this year. So there's a double-decker bus that launched 2 weeks ago. I've literally just come fresh. So I've just been at Paddington Station. We launched the Lizzie Line train. We had an overground train launch on Monday. We got one of the engineering battery locos running. So we've managed to decorate, but it's an amazing design. And the whole point of it is, to be honest with you, everyone has put a rainbow flag on their trains now, right? It's been done. So our vision this year is to put people front and centre. So it is 100% lots of different images of people, just showing, you know, who we are. And so that's out there now. We've got, and obviously you're speaking to some, you know, brilliant people that have been a part of our posters. So we've had external link up. So I don't want to like give any game away. So I don't know if I can say, but you know, there's some really good external people. We've done a colleague artwork. So we've had this amazing like range of like embroidery, poetry, paintings come in from our people. So those are up on posters, and we just like really want to make a massive statement, like a massive splash. Wherever you go on our network, you'll see a bus, you'll see a train, you'll see a poster, and that's what we're really trying to do, like this real kind of big bang.
So why have you done that and become an official Pride partner as well?
I think it's very much it goes hand in glove, because I think it is absolutely around just letting our people know, but also the customers that use us, that we are a safe space.
Yeah.
You know, we are open and safe and welcome. Doesn't matter which mode you can come, you can use us, and it is a safe space. And
I guess when speaking of modes, I have to ask you, what's the queerest mode of transport on the TFL services?
It's a bit like choosing your favourite child, so...
Everyone's got one. Everyone's got a favourite child.
Yeah, but
for my parents, it's me.
100%. Well, no, I can't be biased. I mean, what I would say, I think, obviously, just thinking back to what I just said, every single mode is welcome. So I would say every mode is. Sorry if that was a bit of a politician's answer.
That was a very inclusive response,
Yeah.
and I like it. I guess with the question I just asked you about the queerest mode of transport, for some older LGBTQ plus people, the word queer isn't something that they necessarily identify with. What do you think of that?
I mean, personally, I'm still not quite used to it yet.
Okay.
We've only just fairly recently added the Q onto the LGBTQ plus for our colleague network. I got called it growing up. I've been called it since, and it still hurts. So I think it's really positive now that especially younger people like really own it. But I'm not quite ready. Like, I wouldn't necessarily identify as queer myself.
Yeah.
But I totally respect if people are proudly calling themselves queer now, then like hats off. And I think it's such a positive thing that for younger people now in particular, the word has lost all of that pain.
Yeah, that's a really nice way of looking at it. And of course, like, people should be able to identify with the words that they work best with, and people should just respect those things.
Yeah.
And I feel like TFL does a really good representation of that with the information that they give, which for all the posters around London, we've mentioned, you can see some at Victoria, Green Park. I think every station almost has some sort of rainbow imagery at least, and that really, to me, shows that there's not just lesbian, gay, bisexual, but there's also trans representation, which is super important at the moment. Thank you so much for joining me and for chatting through all things rainbow and TFL. If you would like to exit my cable car, I have got, this is mine now.
Alright.
TFL have lost it. I am the captain now. If you just exit that way, and the children trying to get in are not part of the show. So
thank you very much.
Take care. Yeah, have a good one. TFL are official Pride partners, and as part of this, TFL are showcasing and talking about policies for TFL staff and give good job opportunities to all, as well as well-known Londoners, a platform to talk about why pride and TFL across London is so important. So we are up here in the IFS Cloud cable car, and it's 2.2 kilometres long. It's 90 metres above sea level. If you stretched out all the cable, it would be 7 times taller than the Shard. So getting up in here with me right now is Queen Mojo. She is absolutely phenomenal. She's a television personality, dancer. Come here, please, darling. And celebrity master chef. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Hi, I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. It's been great being able to sit here with you. I'm loving it already. Is this your first time in the IFS Cloud cable car?
No, it's not. I came in here quite a few years ago. Slightly different colour.
A different colour, but this colour's nice. We like
But
this colour.
no, we love the purple, darling. It's chic.
It's chic. It's
purple's a
classy.
royal colour, isn't it?
And when you say royal,
fit for a queen.
exactly, perfect. The branding. She knows it.
I was prepared. I came prepared.
Prepared.
I'd like that to be noticed by yourself and the viewers.
Yeah,
I came.
yeah.
Thank you.
Came prepared. So are you excited to see the view? Because even though you've come a few years ago, London's changed so much.
It has changed so much. I used to work in Canning Town, so this area was really familiar to me. If I wasn't on this with my colleagues and stuff going to get some food, then we were on the DLR.
Yes, okay.
And that has changed so much. So I'm kind of going to be interested in our conversation.
But you're going to be looking at
equally interested in looking at, oh, that's different. Oh, that's changed over there too. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. And where did you come from today? Maybe we can spot that from the
I don't know if we can. I'm a South Londoner. Shout out all my South Londoners. But I came from Catford.
Okay.
I'm all the way in Catford,
I'm
southeast.
terrible with directions. I don't know which way that is.
It's back that way,
Yeah.
but I don't know if we can see. You have to have a really good eye.
So we're heading you home. We're heading you
Yeah,
home.
you are.
It's great.
Thank you.
It's great. Do you usually use public transport?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
What sort of lines do you
So
take?
I'm always making my way to London Bridge because the Jubilee line can take me to Stratford. It can take me to Bond Street. What other line do I use? The Northern line a lot to get up to King's Cross. Oh my gosh. I use the DLR quite frequently because I live in Catford, so I get to Lewisham.
Yeah.
And then Lewisham takes me again to Stratford.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, what else? I'm about to take a trip up to Amersham,
Oh yeah.
up on the Metropolitan line, which I don't think I've ever used more than like maybe one stop.
So I grew up on the Met Line.
Oh, did
Yeah.
you? You're neck of the woods.
Yeah, I remember when they renovated the Met Line. That was a very exciting
Oh,
time.
has it been renovated?
Oh yeah, the trains are nice. There's aircon. There's heating. The seats are clean. It's gorgeous.
Oh, you've made me all the more excited for my
Yeah.
little expedition
Yeah,
to Northwest.
yeah. The tricky thing is it does branch out at the end. So
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah,
make sure you
yeah,
get the
yeah,
right
yeah.
one. What's your favourite mode of transport in London?
Ooh, all the overgrounds.
Okay.
The overground, because just before I moved to Catford, I lived in Brockley. Shout out all my Brockley crew. And from Brockley to Canada Water in about 7 minutes. And from
Nice.
there, I can just travel. I love the overground.
The world is your oyster
Good old,
now.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
old faithful overground, and best part, it's got the aircon. So in the summer,
It's
cools
got the
me
aircon.
down.
And you can still scroll on your phone. You know what I mean?
Thank
Like,
you.
It's important. It's important.
I don't have to call. I'll call you back there. I'll call you back there.
Yeah. But that's why when you're on the overground, you get like sat next to 3 people and they're all on the phone. And you're like, I can't hear my conversation. Have you always been a Londoner? Because I guess if you have been, that's how you know how to battle that. Oh, you're still learning.
No, I'm a Londoner now.
Okay,
But
great.
I was actually raised in North England.
Okay.
So the tube, buses, the network, the links was so new to me when I was, oh gosh, it was quite a while ago. I was 12 years old. What's how old I am now?
22.
Definitely, yeah. Can you see it on the skin? So there's one bus that goes to our village.
Oh my god.
One bus a day.
Oh no.
And if you miss that bus, you need a car. If you don't have a car, you need your mum. that was
and
it.
your mum needs a car.
And your mum needs a car. So it's do or die. I think back in the day when I was growing up, some people had horses.
What? I was not expecting
I'm not that old though. It was just that much of a village.
A horse and a car and one of those little straw hats.
But that was my life. So when I moved to London and I had to get used to buses and I want to go to the new Primark in Marble Arch, I've got to get the red line after getting the black. All of this doesn't make sense. Where now, years later, I think I know the tube off the back of my hand.
Nice, a seasoned pro. We like to see it.
Yeah.
What I discovered, because I grew up in London, was my geography of London is purely based on the tube map. So there are parts of London that look like they're really far away because of the map, but they're not really far away because it's just it's not proportional to the distances. So if that catches you out, don't worry, I've been there.
Come to think of it, I've probably been caught out by that too.
I think TfL did a big campaign about this a few years ago where they were like, it's not that hard to walk from this place to that place, and just look at it in the map and see if maybe you could walk it as an alternative route, because it catches you out.
You know what? Someone did a challenge on TikTok. I wish I could find them now. They did a walk of the entire Victoria line.
I've seen this and I want to do it. Do you want to do it together?
Shall we?
Yeah.
I've got a walking group. We should actually
let's do it.
100% do that.
I'm down for this.
Okay, cool. Join us.
Yeah, come along with us. Post about it online.
Yeah,
I'm down.
Cool.
We start north or south? Which way we start?
Oh no, we'll start. Oh wait, you're north.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or should we meet in the middle?
We'll meet in the middle, and then we'll give each other a review of how it was.
A little wave,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
and then see each other on the way back as
Yeah.
well.
Alright, cool.
Okay, nice.
Sounds like
I
a
like
plan.
it. I like it. And you are going to Pride in London tomorrow, I believe.
Yes, I am.
Nice. What can we expect for your day?
Lots of flamboyant colours, lots of flamboyant clothing, lots of noise. I'm hoping, if I don't bring one myself, to get my hands on a foghorn.
Okay, yeah, nice.
Just so I can shout things at the members of the and members of the public. No,
Joyful
I'm hoping
things.
To, yeah,
Joyful things.
yeah, positive things, happy things, nice things, nothing aggressive. I'm also hoping to link up with a few people, and most importantly, just a little personal thing, keep my eyes peeled for people that haven't been to Pride before, for people that look like they're maybe a bit nervous, having a bit of they're a bit afraid, they're a bit scared.
Bit
maybe.
shy.
Yeah, a bit shy. Just because I remember my first Pride, I went to my first Pride by myself.
Oh gosh, what was it like?
I couldn't find my friends, and so I just thought, well, I'm here now, so I'm not gonna wait for
I
them.
love that you have the confidence to do that, because I do think Pride is the sort of place where you can do those things.
Yeah.
You can just rock up and you can just make friends, but not everyone feels comfortable to do something like that.
Right, but it's Pride. The whole atmosphere is about embracing other people. So that fear of being by yourself is understandable. It makes complete sense because anxiety is a real thing. However, once you get there, and maybe you find a corner or you bump into a group of people, you start to sort of, those fears and that anxiety dissipates. It sort of disappears. I remember, I think I was 17 when I went to my first Pride. I was meant to meet with my friends. I couldn't find them. I didn't know what to do, but music was being played. I think EE were T-Mobile back then, and there was like a spokesperson giving out things, and I got myself a drink and I watched this performance, and there were people that I've never seen before. It was so outside of my normal community that I thought, could I be a part of this? And I didn't need to think that because I was there.
Yeah, you
I
were
was
part
there,
of it. You were
being
part of it already.
A part of it.
And now you're part of the TfL Every Story Matters campaign.
Yes, I am.
Where can we see your photo up on the network?
So all my South Londoners again, or if you're passing through my neck of the woods, my picture is at New Cross Gate Station. It's on the Overground, which is my favourite. It's in South London, which is of course my favourite. And of course, it's me. So I love it.
So my favourite.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone else that. That's just between us. It's just between us.
Yeah.
I guess, what was that experience like? Did you ever imagine that you would be able to be so like visibly proud and queer and like part of this really historic organisation? And
so I come from a very religious background where being any level of queer is of course taboo or just not as welcomed. And so I lived a very secret life, having relationships with people that I didn't really tell the world about, didn't tell anyone about, kept it as secret as possible. And now, if you're not aware, right now winds are blowing.
Yeah, we've got some big winds
and we are
going on
shaking. But no, I was very, very shy, very scared. If it wasn't for Mark Ashley, who is a DJ who's very proud member of the LGBT community, he encouraged me to come out, not only to him, but on national television,
Oh wow.
which was very scary. Something that I never thought that I'd really do, but it's led to this. It's led to me being able to be like a voice, hopefully,
Yeah.
or to continue to just be someone that's like, yeah, I'm bisexual and I'm proud and I'm not afraid of that. Whereas before, I would definitely shy away.
So where can people see you?
You can find me on TikTok at _Queen Mojo. It's the same on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
Awesome. And I am asking all of our guests today,
Yes.
what is the queerest mode of transport across the TFL network?
Oh! The queerest mode of transport. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, it's got to be the DLR.
The DLR?
It's like a little roller coaster, which is what sometimes your journey might be like.
Yeah, yeah. The queer experience, a little roller coaster, and
There
so
you go.
is the DLR. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
me.
you guys.
Take care.
Lots of love. Happy Pride.
See you. If you've just joined us, welcome to Conversations in the Cloud, a TFL live stream where we chat about everything London, TFL, all from the comfort from the ILS Cloud Cable Car. I'm dyslexic. IFS Cloud Cable Car. It's Shivani Darbe here, my pronouns are they, them, and I'm being joined by incredible guests from London who absolutely adore TFL and all of its services. So joining me now is the first out Muslim drag queen in the UK. Her name is Asifa Lahore. She's absolutely stunning, and if you join me on this side, Asifa, how are you doing? This is amazing.
Thank you
Who
so
are you
much.
wearing, darling?
I'm wearing something by one of my own designers, Simonetta Sabo. It's just, it's my take on the Indian lehenga.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Can I borrow this?
Of course you can, anytime you want. I've got one in every colour.
Oh, rainbow. Love to see it. Love to see it. When was your first Pride?
Wow, so my first Pride was 2005. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, it was a World Pride that was happening in London at that year. And it was absolutely massive. My memories of that was seeing a walking group called Iman, which are like an LGBT Muslim support group, and they were wearing rainbow hijabs in the parade, and that just blew my mind. Like 2005, and I didn't realise at the time that that was a first for the Pride Parade in London, and it was massive.
That's awesome. Yeah, because you bring so much of that representation for LGBTQIA plus Muslim people. Do you feel like the community in London, because it's such a diverse city, is completely understanding just yet about the fact that there are LGBTQ plus Muslim people?
Do you know what? I think the notion that LGBTQ plus Muslim people exist, especially in London, is now a positive thing in the sense that people now are aware. People may have their own, disagreements about it, or the debate is still continuing, shall we say. But gone are the days when people used to say, oh, gay people don't exist in the Muslim world, but actually they do.
They do, and you are one of the sort of pioneers in that form of representation, which is absolutely fantastic. And you also, everyone in this cable car is from South London, I promise you that. You also are a big representation for the Croydon scene. What's Croydon like? Tell me more.
Oh, Croydon is amazing. I'm so proud to be a Croydonite. This year we are the London Borough of Culture in 2023.
Yes, love that.
Which is great. Croydon is gritty, Croydon is modern, Croydon is vintage, Croydon is everything. I moved there 8 years ago because it's probably one of the most affordable parts of London to live, and it's home.
It's home. That's so lovely that you have that experience there, that you feel at home in a space. We had a Croydon shout out earlier about the Croydon tram.
Yeah.
And you were part of the Every Story Matters campaign with TFL.
Yeah.
And wasn't it the Croydon tram in the background of your photo?
It was indeed. I mean, when the campaign got in touch, I was just like, oh, please tell me you want the Croydon image of the trams behind me, and they were like, that's exactly what we want. The Croydon tram network is iconic.
Okay,
it's
tell
just
me more.
So iconic. So it opened in 1990.
Oh, you hit me with facts. You're not just like, it's an easy ride. You're hitting me with facts straight up.
I was actually at secondary school at the time in Brixton, and a friend of mine who's like my best friend is like a train and TFL like geek. He was like, oh my gosh, these trams are like, you know,
at the time probably state of the art. And
yeah. I mean, they're amazing. Like literally, I remember taking that first ride from East Croydon all the way to Wimbledon, and back then I believe we did it in about 25 minutes. It takes slightly more longer now, but it's iconic.
The tram's getting old, you know. It's back going out, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how trams work. I'm sure it's.
I think safety reasons, I think, you know, they're getting old, whatever, but they are just so iconic. And everyone in Croydon and the surrounding areas really rely on those trams.
Yeah, so is that your sort of main TFL mode of transport then?
One of them. I mean, being a Croydonite, like, the travel links into Croydon and into central London are amazing. Like, you can get the overground from West Croydon to East London. You can get like the Thames Link or the southern train services from East Croydon to London Bridge or London Blackfriars or London Victoria, St Pancras. You can go all the way to France if you really want.
Oh yes, but that's outside of TFL's purview.
Yes,
that is outside. So. When you were shooting the Every Story Matters campaign, they put up some posters of you around London. Do you know where they are? Have you been able to find them yet?
I haven't yet, no. I'm like really like, I'm on the hunt. I'm on a little bit of a treasure hunt.
Do you want me to tell you where they are?
Yes, please.
Victoria and Green Park Tube Station, West Croydon Overground Station.
Oh wow!
Yes, you've got one local to you.
Oh my gosh! Okay, so after this, I'm gonna go and take a photo.
Yeah, you have to. You have to recreate the shoot. Like, just get some unsuspecting tourists.
And they go boom.
Yeah. Exactly. That's awesome, and there's a lot of love for Croydon from you.
Yeah.
You are hosting Croydon Pride?
I am indeed.
And the Croydon Mela, which is the next day after.
Yes.
Give me the details. What do I need to put in the diary?
So Croydon Pride is taking place on Saturday the 15th of July at Wandle Park. And the day after, at the same park, it's the Croydon Mela, which is essentially the Asian Carnival.
Oh, so awesome.
And the great thing about Croydon is there's so much diversity. And being the, London Borough of Culture this year, we just want to represent that entire diversity and essentially having Pride and Mela on the same stage, back to back, a day apart. I'm not only hosting the Croydon Pride main stage, but I'm also performing the next day at Croydon Mela.
You're a busy bee.
So I'm a busy bee, but also it's I just want to point out like the intersectionality of the queer community. There's so much like diversity within us that it's I'm lucky and privileged enough to essentially sit on both identities and the boundaries of those identities, where I can go from queer to South Asian events. Yeah,
and vice versa, and have those communities in both spaces supporting you for all of those identities that you hold. That's absolutely phenomenal. I think that's really lovely. It kind of warms my heart because that's the kind of representation we need. That the fact that everyone in the community is so different and has their own different elements of identity. And there's one thing I do know about you is that you have a visual impairment and you take a lot of Transport for London services. How do you find navigating with a disability?
So I'm on the blind spectrum, as you said, and it's challenging. The older I get, the more sight I lose. And when I began getting significant sight loss, one of the first things I noticed was I could not read the train timings at Croydon. Like literally
get that Croydon plug in there again.
It literally everything just started blurring. So I relied heavily on my iPhone, and the great thing is the internet. So TFL have their own live updates and whatnot. So I literally, when I'm going, I just say, Siri, give me live updates on East Croydon train station, and the platforms are there, so I know exactly where to go. If technology isn't my best friend on the day, I just ask the people that work at the station. And throughout London, I literally use the public transport service because I'm totally reliant on it because I can't drive. And you would assume that people would be, react to me negatively. I mean, I came like this today. I came all the way from Croydon to Greenwich here, like this. Nobody batted an eyelid, and I feel so safe on the transport system. I feel I can be myself, whether I'm in full drag, whether I'm not in drag, whether I'm in semi-drag. I feel really, really safe. I've never had, in terms of safety, I've never had any negative experiences on the TfL network.
That's so lovely to hear. I think it can often be a sense of anxiety for people to travel in public wearing clothes that maybe might gather a little bit of attention.
Yeah.
And I think this outfit gets people's attention because you look so stunning. It's the perfect colour. It's absolutely gorgeous. But it is one of those things where people, can feel a little bit insecure about that. And it's so great that you haven't had those negative experiences. I love that for you. Now, can you tell me a little bit about your work? Just a little, because I've seen you everywhere. I've seen you in films. I've seen you. Tell me more.
So I perform as Britain's first out Muslim drag queen. I do everything from hosting to singing to dancing to entertaining to film to TV. I've done a number of documentaries for Channel 4, Sky, ITV, BBC.
So you're everywhere.
Let's just say I'm known in certain circles.
And where can people see you coming up in the future? Where can people grab a little bit of Asifa Lahore?
So obviously we're entering Pride Month and London Pride's tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm hosting the main stage tomorrow
at London
afternoon.
Pride?
Yes,
Amazing.
at Trafalgar Square and the Golden Square stage as well later in the afternoon.
Amazing. I cannot wait to see you there. I will be getting there nice and early so I can get a spot down the front to see you and blow you loads of kisses.
Oh, thank you.
Quickly before you go, what is the queerest mode of transport on the TfL network?
Oh, the Elizabeth line by a landslide. I'll tell you why. When it opened, literally like large groups of queer geeks literally spent the first few days just riding from end to end to end. The ends that were open at the time. Just literally go online and just type Queer Geeks Elizabeth line. It was a big thing. It was amazing.
That's amazing. I'm going to do that later tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. If you
Thank
could
you.
head this way.
Thank
you
you.
so much. It's been a pleasure, a joy, a delight. Now, if you are going to Pride events, TfL wants to welcome you to the network, whether it's underground, by bus, or for a fun ride up here on the IFS Cloud cable car. You'll see our official Pride rainbows, and you can speak to station staff and read more about the Londoners and their stories that we are showcasing across social media. So thank you for joining us for this episode. Have a wonderful rest of the day. The episode will be available for catch up on the TfL YouTube and across social media. And a reminder, do send TfL photos of your Pride outfits that you're heading to London Pride in this weekend. We'd love to see the photos of you attending. Extra points if you do that across the TfL network. And dress up and tag at TfL on Twitter and TikTok and at Transport for London on Instagram. Thank you, I'm Shivani Dave. Thank you for joining.